violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Detroit City Councilman Andre Spivey has been sentenced to 2 years in prison.
Sentence comes after he pleaded guilty to one count of bribery for taking payments in the federal investigation into the city of Detroit's towing program. Rod Maloney was there for that hearing and explains where this case fits into other corruption cases we've been watching in Detroit over the past few years. Rod?
Guys, so we're in Detroit now. I have to cover this because someone sent me a story on Detroit, and it is wild, okay? It's wild, and I've got a couple wild stories for you guys, but it starts with the government. It starts with the corruption, and this guy, Andre Spivey, he was taking bribes, and he's being weeded out, okay? And he's probably not the worst offender, so I don't want to put all the woes of Detroit on him. But these are the types of people we got running this establishment, okay? You literally got the super gremlins in the streets, and then the super gremlins on the city council.
Rod?
The 2 years in federal prison that the Reverend Andre Spivey received today is a lot less than we've seen in other council bribery cases, Monica Conyers, Lonnie Bates. But then there's also the case of Gabe Leland, the former council member, who is not going to federal prison. And there's a reason for that. The feds dropped their case against him because they were counting on using Robert Carmack as their witness. They said he was unreliable. So Leland ended up sentenced to misconduct in office in state court.
And I want you guys to really notice what he said there, because especially in this day and age, we get a whole bunch of accusations on how the criminal justice system is racist and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we can go back and forth about it. That still doesn't change the behavior of a lot of these super gremlins, okay? But this former guy's case got thrown out on a technicality because the witness was unreliable and he wasn't going to be a good witness. That's pretty much all they had. With Andre Spivey, you know, they already said that he got less time than others who made the same offense. So he gets 2 years, and there's other people who serve more time than him. It's probably because of legal representation, the money that he may have had from taking those bribes, the extra income. You know, he could pay his lawyer straight under the table. So there are a whole bunch of different factors into getting away with a crime. And a lot of it has to do with your legal team and the people that you have around you and resources. You know, sometimes a lawyer will take your case pro bono if they think it's a slam dunk, and then sometimes they won't. Okay? It has to be a combination of a lot of the right things. But in this day and age, I think it's safe to say that a lot of these judges are light-handed, and they give these super gremlins multiple chances as if they're trying to correct from being overhanded in the past. And I think there's a happy medium in between. Now that we have DNA evidence, it is easier to figure out who committed a crime, and you won't have as many people who, you know, were wrongfully convicted, even though that is a very small minority. When you go to prison and you ask somebody, you know, hey, are you innocent? Did you do the crime they're accusing you of? Most of them are gonna say yes, they're innocent. So
former council member Andre Spivey entered federal court this morning wearing a regular tie, not his trademark bow tie, and a backwards hat, accompanied by supporters who then packed 2 full courtrooms. Once before, federal judge Victoria.
They killed them with the backwards hat comment, though. I don't even. That's like them old school Bill Cosby hats.
Roberts, the prosecution called the sentencing, quote, an unfortunate and even tragic set of circumstances. David Gardy adding, quote, Mr. Spivey is a good man, recorded 8 times asking for and taking money. He did tremendous damage. Detroiters have a sick and disgusted feeling. Mr. Spivey gutted their faith in elected officials. And
wow. And see the distrust of one guy, and this guy's supposed to be a reverend. This is why we can't have black leaders. This is why we don't have no black leaders, because the people who we tout up as black leaders, like Malik Zulu Shabazz and, you know, New Black Panther Party and all these kind of stuff, they're communists. And then we got elected city officials who are taking bribes and not doing a damn job. And then we got the Baltimore lady who is being brought up on charges too for corruption. So we got a whole bunch going on. And it's like, man, look, you can't even look up to the reverends.
quote. Reverend Spivey later told the judge, quote, I am humbled, embarrassed, and ashamed, sorry for undue attention. I come taking full responsibility for my actions. I broke the law, I was wrong, and have a contrite heart.
Okay, well, at least he took full responsibility. At least there's some accountability, okay, you know. That's one step in the right direction. Now he's going to do his time and he'll come out rehabilitated. Right? Right? No, but seriously, like you don't want to be at his church when he preaching a 2-hour sermon and he passing the collection plate around for an hour and 30 minutes. You do not want to be in that service.
End quote. Judge Roberts said Spivey sold his soul and his vote and sentenced him to 24 months in federal prison. Spivey emerged from the courthouse in a celebratory mood, hugging supporters as he left without speaking with reporters.
He just happy that he thought he was going to get the maximum sentence. He was under the perception that the criminal justice system was racist, and he thought he was going to get smacked and they were going to make an example out of him. They gave him 2 months. He'll do 85%.
He's not dissatisfied with the sentence.
Attorney Elliot Hall is happy Spivey did not receive a tougher sentence that the federal guidelines had called for.
He's relieved. He knows what he's got to do now. He's got a path forward. He's got to do this time. He's got to rebuild his life. And, you know, who knows? We might, if we have the right president of the White House, he may get a pardon years that'll clear this.
Now,
What? So this guy is openly taking bribes, asking for bribes, receiving bribes, and you talking about, oh, he needs to come back on. Would we have this same energy for a glider? Let's keep it a buck. Would we have this same energy?
Reverend Spivey's daughter is going to be graduating from high school this spring. And so they asked the judge if she would allow Spivey to attend the graduation. The judge said, yes, go ahead. And now he does not have to report to federal prison until July 1st.
Wow. I mean, these judges are not all fire and brimstone that these folks be talking.
In downtown Detroit, Rod Melonen, Local 4.
He was just a very selfless and loving man.
Surrounded by family. That's how 64-year-old Behnam Rasho preferred it.
Oh, he was the best person. You know, he would always go above and beyond for our family.
For decades, he ran convenience stores in Detroit, finishing out his career here as a clerk at Andy's Market near Greenfield and the Lodge. That's where his son, Jonathan, rushed to Monday night to find police all over.
They broke the news to me that he's gone, and it took me a minute for it to kind of settle in.
Behnam.
Wow. So, a beloved business owner, the American dream, immigrant, comes over here, makes a life for himself, provides for his family. They're living good. He's taking care of all the bills, man. He's doing some bossed up stuff. Owns a liquor store. Super Gremlin comes in the store, and it's your worst nightmare.
Behnam and another employee were inside behind bulletproof glass when this man came in.
Look, obviously, Super Gremlin. For two, it's not weird that he walked in with a Pooh Shiesty mask. Not weird at all, especially because of the pandemic. This is normal. This is the new normal. Super Gremlins decked out in the latest Nike tech gear that covers 90% of your body. And we're in for a rude awakening in 2022. 2022 is gonna be that Thrax.
And trying to buy liquor. At some point, Behnam walked out from behind the register area and was shot and killed. The shooter then demanded money from the other employee and got away with 2 cash registers full.
Wow. So he killed them and then demanded the money. Didn't demand the money and then got like, woo! If y'all see a Super Gremlin coming anywhere with the Pooh Shiesty mask, you better wake the hell up.
It's senseless. It's sickening. It's disgusting.
As police search for the shooter, family reflect on a life of service. Behnam, a former contractor with the U.S. Army working overseas.
He fought for this country, and he put his life on the line, you know, support us to make sure we have a better life.
Dang, man. That's crazy.
This family is hoping someone recognizes the shooter and speaks up. For now, a message to the man who stole much more than money.
I hope you find God, and you should realize that money will not make you happy in this world.
Man, we need... I don't think they understand the mind of a Super Gremlin. Let me let you in on what this Super Gremlin is doing right now. Might have picked up a backwood like the homeless man who killed Breonna Kupfer. Might have picked up a backwood, smoking it now, chilling, you know, drinking a 40 or something like that. A Henny. These dudes do not care. They do not care. He is not finna find God or nothing. Like, there's no hope for this dude, okay? This is not his first time doing that. This is what you gotta understand. Certain dudes don't leave the hood for a reason, because they know it's easy to catch bodies and get away with it.
When you weigh money in a human life, the scales aren't balanced. It's not anything you can compare.
Detroit police say the suspect wanted in connection to murdering Behnam also likely robbed this beauty supply store off 7 Mile 2 hours before the murder. If you recognize the...
So he robbed the sisters, well, we don't know if the sisters own this, but the lace front and wig store. And then he went to the liquor store and robbed them. Whew. There goes the community.
The suspect from those surveillance photos called Detroit police right away. Reporting on Detroit's west side, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.